Illinois farming has been mostly agribusiness of corn and soybeans. But a new day for local farming is about to break. The Illinois Food Farms and Jobs Act and the Talking Farm are trying to move Illinois farmers from growing commodities to growing food.
Our nonprofit status is an educational mission, and so that means we want to talk to people and we want to communicate to people. So somebody in the board said, the Talking Farm, and then somebody else immediately said, the farm that has something to say. And everybody said, yes, that's it. Some renewable energy.
Jim Brown and Debbie Hillman are sowing the seeds for a new way to put food production back into the hands of local farmers.
Food connects to our pleasure, to community, to family, to just enjoyment of life. And so we decided we wanted to work in that issue. I would say the first thing that anybody can do, and it's free, and it's not really hard, is just to start thinking. To think about where all of your resources come from. Where does the food come from? Who produces it? How is it produced? And to think about that the earth is the source of all the things that we have. If we organize society and we make all of our decisions, our policy decisions around food, and making sure everybody has access to food and that it's healthy and fresh, then everything else will fall in place. We think a lot of the environmental issues will be solved. Certainly we will not be using as much energy. We won't need the transportation because by definition healthier, fresher food is grown where as close to home, as close to where it's being purchased.
When you go into the grocery store the next time and you look at that great layout in there and all that food, look at all those items and realize that each one of those items have traveled an average of 1,500 miles. The Illinois Local Food and Farms Coalition began about a year and a half ago with a vision with Jim Slama, Debbie Hillman, and myself to create an Illinois-based food system. And we began putting together the concepts to create this idea, take it down to the Illinois legislature, and get the state of Illinois to back this concept.
Our state representative, Julie Hamas, was very receptive to these ideas. She didn't really understand them at first because, like most urban people, she goes to the grocery stores in Evanston and sees the shelves filled with food. What's the problem here? But she does know about global warming. She knows about environmental issues. She knows about energy issues. She knows about health issues. So we started telling her how we saw them all connected to food, and it didn't take her long to get it. And from then on, we just started crafting the Illinois Food Farms and Jobs Act.
Well, a regional food network that I envision for Chicago will allow the farmers in Illinois to be growing all of the food and produce and meat that Illinois food consumers are eating. And there's really no reason why we aren't doing that. That will require farmers to transition from growing corn and soybeans to growing local food. That will require young people to go out and get back on the land, which will take the young people back out into our rural communities. It will require the infrastructure of processing, distribution, and storage that's necessary to take it efficiently from the farmer up to the consumer. It will require an expanded market of farmers markets, roadside stands, new and existing grocery stores, any other types of retail outlets that will distribute the food to the consumers.
A local food system will help to revitalize rural as well as urban communities.
That's part of the vision, that everybody has access to fresh, healthy food.
A local food system will increase the nutrient content and the flavor of the foods that we eat.
A regional network provides visibility of food growing to everybody, whether they're actually doing the growing or not, but at least they can see somebody growing food, and then they will have a relation to that, and they will understand it doesn't come off an assembly line, it doesn't come wrapped up in plastic, and it is a living thing.
The quintessential local example is the Talking Farm.
We looked around for land, not thinking that we would be able to find 2 or 3 acres of vacant land in an urban area. But we wanted it to be a big project, not just a community garden. We wanted to grow as much food as possible for sale to the general public. We looked at maps, we drove around the city of Evanston, and lo and behold, on this land along the North Shore Channel, the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District's map says vacant. And we came out here about 4 o'clock one evening. We see this access road and we walk down it and we enter this field that's surrounded by trees. It felt like a farm the minute we saw it. We want this to be a community center where people can come to learn about growing, to learn about preserving and canning. We hope to have a certified kitchen and community space, classroom space. We think this could set a precedent for the metropolitan area. Even if we can't feed everybody from this 2 or 3 acres, it will provide educational opportunities and awareness for everybody that, when they go to the farmers market, they will respect what the farmers do.
The future of Illinois food is in our hands.